vitamin B complex. Okay, what is the main function of vitamin B complex? So it's going to be general in effect. We have the first main function of vitamin B complex is, okay, main functions. Nakakaloka mga hitad. Okay, this is to make proteins. So if you lack of proteins, then you need to fortify your food with vitamin B. Okay, vitamin B supplements also. Okay, you get the point. But the main source of vitamin B will be animals and plants. Okay, animals and plants. So literally, the meat. Okay, the meat. So it could be the milk. It could be the liver, it could be the egg, it could be the fish, okay? And then things like that, okay? So, and plants also, there's a lot of plants, for example, avocado, oh, like that, okay? So, mainly plants, okay? Generally. You know what I mean? Okay, because there's a lot also as long as vitamin B na siya kasagaran. Okay, number 2, for the production to produce, gusto niya produce niya guys? Uy, RBC. So medical terms are, expressed in RBC and WBC. RBC is red blood cells. Okay, it talks about the, the hemoglobin, and the hemi. See, hemi sa Sotero. Okay, hemoglobin is the protein found in the red blood cells that carries the oxygen. Okay, meaning to say if you have less hemoglobin, how can the oxygen will be carried properly to regular, proper blood flow circulation? Because it carries the oxygen, this kind of protein. Okay, so we need to eat more vitamin B. Okay, so that we have a proper inhalation because it has to do something with oxygen, this kind of protein. Okay, and then the hemi part will be the iron content. Okay, so if you have lack of iron, then you have less of RBC because iron content as a hemi protein, okay, so it's also fortified in the RBC. So we have to say RBC is equals to hemoglobin plus hemi. This is comprises the red blood cells. The hemoglobin protein is already a protein. Okay, heme is also a protein, but in terms of the addition of iron content. That's why if you have lack of iron also, you have lack of RBC. Because these two comprises as the components of the red blood cells. So iron is very important. Okay, so if you have lack of iron, we need to say it has to do something with a specific protein in the hemi, which is the ferritin. Okay, so the ferritin protein will regulate the iron level, okay, that your red blood cells can accept or reject. You get the point? So that's ferritin protein. Ferri meaning from the word iron, like ferric chloride, ferrous chloride. So that's why ferri also. Okay? Ferritin because most of the protein ends with IN. Okay? Just like the hormone. Okay, so it's very clear. Okay, if you have less of iron, the chance is lower red blood cells. Okay, what is the disease for this? Loss of memory. Okay, loss of memory, and then forgetful, and then you always not remember in the past. Okay, like this. Or sometimes it could lead you to dementia. Okay, dementia meaning you lose the quick memory and thinking. And then if you are now old, and still you also lack of vitamin D, you suffer Alzheimer's disease. You get the point. So, as it has to do something with the neurological functions in the central nervous system. Things like that. Meaning, the health of our neurons is always attached with the vitamin B. Okay? You get the point. So that's why it's also lead to neurological dysfunction. Okay, or let us say first you will have the mental confusion, or meaning it has to do something with a brain, disorder, something like that. Okay, you get the point. Things like that. So these two, with this alone we can understand about vitamin B. And if we have the protein, then this gives us an energy, right? Okay, so this energy is driven by this protein, okay, or this vitamin B, but our end product will be the chemical messenger, okay? Chemical messenger hormone or the neurotransmitters. Okay, because it will not activate us. Okay, if you receive these hormones coming from the vitamin B protein, these hormones will transmit the message to our brain. Okay, after transmitting the message to the brain, it will be triggered our brain cells. Okay, since our brain cells will carry the electrical signal to pass along the information to activate us, whether it is a sensory or motor skills. So if it is sensory, the sense of seeing, the sense of hearing, the sense of emotions or feeling like that, or smelling with odor. If it is motor skills, then it leads us to move. Okay, walk, sing, walk, okay, eat, okay, what else? Dance, okay, run, like ride, anything about motor skills, okay? So it is the chemical messenger hormone out of this protein, okay, vitamin B. So meaning, chemical messenger neurotransmitter is on the end product output, but our input is more on the protein, okay, with specific vitamin B, okay, something like that. Somewhere along in the intermediate or the center, it is the synthesis reaction, like that, or a combination reaction, or a biochemical reaction, or biosynthesis reaction to produce this end product chemical messenger hormone. So, in the long run, ang nagagbida ang chemical messengers. So, we need to say, we are what we eat. Because most of the diseases are hormonal. You get the point? You get the hormonal driven. You lack of this, you lack of this, you lack of this. For example, if you are diabetic or so you have lack of insulin hormone. Right? So things like that. You get the point? So if you are, let's say, dementia, your lack of ferritin hormone or hemoglobin hormone. Things like that. So hormonal. You get the point? Things like that. So, there are two main functions of vitamin B. Okay, like that. For the plants, I will be specific, the broccoli, the spinach, or the cruciferous vegetables, the green, it looks like that, okay, for the plants. For the animals, lalo na kayo, meat, milk, because milk are coming from the cow, right? Liver, any animals, but specific food, liver is higher, COD. And then the egg, okay, particularly the white, okay, because the yellow is for vitamin A and vitamin D, okay, fish also, okay, you get the point. So did you magpapildi ang fish, oy, nakakaloka, okay, you get the point. So it's gonna be like that for vitamin B. Now we need to classify the deficiencies of vitamin B, okay, so that we will know. So if we encounter a person that loses his mind in the street, that he cannot think properly, so it is sure he lacks of vitamin B. Okay, no nutrients of vitamin B. Okay, because hormonal. Okay, get the point, mga palangga akong hitad. Oh, it has to do something with neurological functions. Okay. Kahit yung iris ang red, guys, uy. Ang red na ko, madugoy kayo ma-erase, guys, do. Ang marker. Uy, ganahan siya, di ko rin kubalamin, uy. Ganahan mo rin kubalamin. Vitamin B, na siya, guys. Tuluan pa mo nga ni kubalamin, kaya basa. Okay. Pakinomdom mo ko ani guys because in our elementary level there's a competition and then we are three most of the times our valedictorian ganon me and the other one also I will never mention it. Okay, we are three in our school representative like in a nutrition competition ganon. Okay, like that. And I always encounter this type of question in the nutrition month. Okay, blank is a disease that lacks of vitamin A. Mga ganun na mga question. Okay? So of course, night blindness and xerophthalmia. Lack of vitamin A or vitamin A deficiency. May nga sa mga nutrition. Rated siya sa nutrition ng mga food. Okay? You get the point? Ganon. So in our elementary, gano'n siya. Go, glow, and grow food. Go, energy-giving food. Mga gano'n, di ba? Pinuno pa mo. Okay? Grow, gano'n, and the glow. And glow for the skin. Mga gano'n. Okay? Grow is for growing up. Okay, grow man. And go, you run. That's why energy-giving. Gano'n. Okay? So, as simple as GGG lang. Elementary. Okay? Go, grow, and glow foods. Ganon. Okay? Nakatong mga go, mga carbohydrates, mga ganon. Okay? Katong mga glow, katong mga vegetables. Ang glow, katong mga related sa mga milk. Diba? Anak-anak. Katong mga meat, mga more related sa elementary. Huwag kalimutan na. Okay? Nakakalok. So, makakala to siya, i-develop lang yung pag-ayaw as you grow older ang mga, ano ba, academic information. Nagkataas ang leveling. Charot. Okay? So, mag-isbot na tali ko balamin. Uy, ganun kayo ko balamin. Charot. Okay. Namuot ko ni ko balamin. Kaya ganahan ko lang kubalamin na, maganahan dyan ulit kubalamin. Para po anak ko, kariskas na awang. Mag-enumeration ta, guys. Uy, mo dyan ako akong paborito sa tanan is a question. Kaya para ma-maximize ako akong kahilig man kong detail. Di man ko hilig og shortcut. That is my weakness. Very detailed and lengthy. Okay? So it doesn't mean wala siya yung point. Lengthy lang yun ko. Mudag answers. Because there are also lengthy na way unod. Okay? It's totally different nga lengthy, at the same time, nasa siya unod. Okay? Nung dili ko mo straightforward na yun, bakit dili ko matagbaw sa akong answers? Anak man ko guys, mo na makapadaog na ko sa essay sa una kay ako yung ikuan ba? Okay? So, ako yung ikuan eh, ako yung i-proper na detailed kayo siya, ganun para wa ko yung mag-enjoy ko makadaog niya. Makadaog na sad. Ay nako Lord, thank you for that gift. Muna na akong mamiss sa akong education guys, no? Kana yung joining of competition, especially journalism and science, something like that. Di ko kalimutan na kayo, ganahan ko mag-apil-apil. Really, okay? Lagi na ka ng mga oratorical contest. Ay Diyos ko, baga kay naon si John. We're represented sa Chemical Engineering Department. Charot! Nakakalok. Okay. Ay, nako. Baga kay naon si John. In fairness. Oh, nakakalok. Kinaanan ba ko sa high school po mo nang hindi na kayo mauuwi sa college? Ganon. Di ba mga classmates and batchmates sa Naga National High School? Di ba? Shoutout sa kumakauban sa journalism nila ni Bemes Baino. Okay. Ni nila Ronald Gonzalez. Okay. Jing Querequelio. Ako kumakauban sa mga competition sa una. Sa taas lang may mga booth. Okay. Last na mo sa kato sa Dumaguete, Silliman University. Okay. Nung nag-abot dito, dagan kayo mga kontra. In fairness sa journalism competition, oh my gosh, may mga UP, mga sinatuit. Diba? Okay. Ganun mo, excel mo sa English. Ganon, okay? So, diba? So, ano siya? Okay, so mag-enumeration na yun. Okay? So, vitamin B complex. Okay. So, how many vitamins in vitamin B complex? Okay, more or less 8, right? Let's check. Okay, 8. Okay, vitamin B1. Okay, this is thiamine. Okay. So if you lack of thiamine, what disease you will be developing? Okay, it's anemia. Okay? B2. And also, beriberi. Okay, beriberi disease. Okay? So B2 is riboflavin. Okay, riboflavin. So the technique in riboflavin, you know, it will participate in the Krebs cycle in the cellular respiration. Okay, aerobic respiration. So this will become nicotinamide. Nicotinamide. Okay? So, nicotinamide. Okay? Participation in the Krebs cycle. Right? As a nicotinamide. Okay. So, sa B3, we have niacin. Okay. Kapag kinig-memorize sa elementary pa kaya so, B4. Kung sabi na itong mga B4, mga palangga. Why B4? You go directly to B5. Okay. So, for example, in examination, it will trick you up. What is the vitamin B4? What is the name? Bukan rin matches ng A, thiamine, hemoglobin, D, like this, E, none of the above. Your answer will be none of the above because there's no vitamin B4. Ay, pugsaha. Okay, things like that. Yung butang-butangan na nga, labi na term na, di na siya familiar, na iulit i-equate siya. Hindi siya B4, hindi siya kemore na lagi. It's not like that. There's no B4 really. There's no vitamin B4. Clear? Okay. Ilan-ilan na lang sa question. Okay, sa mga exam, okay? Anak siya. Ang number 5, guys, muna siya ito, pantothenic acid. Pantothenic acid, okay? So, this is the first acid in the B-complex family. Okay, first acid. Okay. B6, kung saan siyang B6. Okay. Pyridoxine. Okay, pyridoxine. Usually, some medicines have this because it's more on medicinal application than pyridoxine. This one, medicinal purposes, ang B6. Okay, B7. This is biotin. Biotin. Ay, biot sa vitamin B. Ang biotin. Biot nga naiutin. Okay, biotin. Okay, so B7. B8. This is folate or folic acid. Pareho na siya, guys. Or folate. As I told you, in organic chemistry, the ATE and the acid will be just almost the same, but not all. There's an exemption, but majority. Okay, like this. So, we have two acids now. Okay. There's no B9, there's no B10, there's no B11. Go directly to B12. And this is now my favorite, cobalamin. Favorite ko na cobalamin. Uy, nakakaloka. So, B12, cobalamin. Why this is my favorite? Because this will lead us to intelligence, smartness, and cleverness of quick memory. Because this is applicable for our neurons' health. Okay, neurons' health and neurological functions health. Okay, the more you have this cobalamin, the more you have so many retention in the knowledge, memory, something like that, okay? Because it has to do something with the health of your neurons. Okay, now it will also develop the red blood cells more. Add red blood cells because this is vitamin B, right? And also add iron because iron also is a component of red blood cells as a heavy, as I told you, in the ferritin protein. Okay, like that. So cobalamin, not only that, take note, cobalamin also used to synthesize protein that used in the DNA, the gene information of any individual. That's why I love really cobalamin. And the last really is the optimal health of any individual. What do you mean by optimal health? Just like optimization in quality department, things like that, the same story. So it will optimize the overall health, this cobalamin. Imagine, cobalamin will optimize all, the overall health, optimal health of a person. So meaning to say, this will help our homeostasis. Homeostasis is the process of the state of balance of our body in terms of health. Homeostasis. So the more we can have a homeostasis, if you have an optimal health overall, due to the content of vitamin B12 cobalamin. So, kung ma-bright mo, gusto lang cobalamin na yun. Okay? So, what are the foods for cobalamin? These are the legumes family. What are those? Almonds, peanuts, pistachio, hazelnuts, brazil nuts, okay, mga ganon-ganon, flax seeds, mga ganon. It's all about, you know, like a seed, something like that. Okay, so when you study, then eat a little bit like that, when you study. And then water, like that. Aside from that, these nuts are good in vitamin E, vitamin D, and omega-3 fats also, aside from the cobalamin. Okay, so that's why also if you eat nuts, you will never feel hungry. Okay, have you tasted that? I tasted that already. I don't eat anything. I just eat peanuts or nuts and then I can sleep also. I tried that, but I'm afraid. Okay, but at least once or twice I tried it. Okay, just to prove, because it's stated in the research in the Harvard Public School of Health that if you eat peanuts, it fulfill your your stomach, something like that, even though you will not eat carbo, like that. Just like eggs, it will make you full, even though there's no carbo rice, like this, okay, as long as you eat those kind. Because the common there is carbon atoms, hydrogen atoms, and oxygen atoms. But it depends only the number of atoms, but still have the same elemental constituents or components. Okay? Kaya ang carbohydrates, C6H12, O6, siya. But the number of atoms is different, but technically the same. Carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. That's why sometimes you will not feel hungry if you eat these foods. That's why also you can survive by eating foods alone without the carbo. By just fruits and water, you can survive. Okay? But though, it's not really that good because you are not practicing that for a long time. You will feel awkward like this and something missing. That's why. But that is only your feeling. Okay? But technically, it is just the same. It's not just you are not adaptive to it. Your immune system are not adaptive to it because you are not practicing that for a long time. Okay? So that's the main reason. Adaptive immunity is the reason there. Okay? But if you talk about science, it's really okay not to eat carbohydrates. Okay? You get the point? Because you can found that also to other food like Quaker oats, like that. Okay? I told you already, the oatmeal or whatever. Okay? The low carbs. Okay? Ganon. Feeling na natong emotions good. Magpalabi itong debate. Na, ingon ito ma-ulcer ta, tigda mo ka, may gilin ang tiyan. Safe mo muna siya. Okay? You get the point? Okay, so vitamin B complex. Because the doctor says, maximum of 16 hours, it's okay not to eat. Beyond that, you should eat. Okay? So, that is intermittent fasting. Okay? Like that. Since we are not adapted to it, then we cannot do that. But if we try to do it intentionally, we can do it, especially like our medical examination. We will never put anything so that the doctor can have a proper reading of the results. Because if you keep on eating, the results will not tell the truth. To the point, because this will not have the proper results. Okay, you got the point. So that's why it's gonna be like that. Okay? But it stays there to maximum of ano lang siya. Maximum of 3 days, you can do that, but beyond that, you cannot do anymore. You can really have anything that has to be digested, solid substance to be digested. But maximum of 3 or 2, if you can make it. Okay? But for 1 day alone for 16 hours, it's okay. You get the point? So at the time, you will burn your ketosis sugars. The process of burning calories of the ketone sugar family. Specifically the dihydroxyacetone sugar. Okay? The stored sugar in your body. Okay, you got the point? Ganon. So, okay. This will be the last to be born, mga good siya. Okay, you got the point? So, magawa siya kanina. Intermittent fasting, baya ka. And you did not add glucose sugars. Siyempre, the ketosis sugars will be burned. No choice. Nakakaloka. That's why hindi po tamapil. Di kaya na ketosis sugars or ketosis carbohydrates sa atong lawas. Okay, that's also the main reason. Okay? That is stopped for how many years inside our body that has not been burned completely. It will just be burned if our glucoses will be burned all. Got the point? So that is our internal sugar, the ketosis sugar. It will never be touched if our glucoses sugars will not be burned all. Okay? That's why we survive. Right? At intermittent fasting. You get the point. Ganon siya mga kalangga. So that's based for the references sa doctors, a lot of doctors, mga ganon, okay, references, mga sana na. Okay? Dugi kumatong, agtan ko kadlaw gani. Nakakaloka. Diba? So, muna siya ang vitamin B. I cannot show you the structural chemical formula, guys, because so complicated. Really. Okay, so if I can study it, I can show you later, but for now I cannot do it, okay, because vitamin B, so it's called vitamin B complex from the name itself. It's really complex. This is the only type of water soluble vitamins. These are soluble to water. This has no issue regarding metabolism because it will be digested or can be flown away by water. This is not fat soluble. Something like this is water soluble. Meaning to say it will go to the bloodstream. It's easy to be out from your system because these are water soluble. Okay? Ganon, vitamins. Because 2 types of vitamins, water soluble and fat soluble. Mga ganon-ganon. Okay? Like that. So, muna siyang may tapo. You got the point? O, ganon. So, ato na i-wrap up para madali ta. Okay, ang atong vitamin B-A. Okay. Vitamin A is for the vision. Okay. Shortcut na lang ni. Okay. Vitamin B is for protein and red blood cells. Iron. Okay. Vitamin C. This is for to protect our body from infection. So, protect infection and the growth of and repair of muscles, tissues, skin, like that. Vitamin C. Vitamin D for healthy bones. Okay, like that. And for what else? Reduce inflammation and cardiovascular diseases and cancers. This is vitamin D. Vitamin E is anti-inflammatory, antioxidants. Okay, vitamin. The same with D. Okay, for reduce the risk of cancers. Related ang D ang E. Okay, something like that. But E adds on the skin health. Skin health. Okay, like that. Okay, both vitamin D and E also for the heart. Okay, and then vitamin E is for the fertility. So if the woman and man, husband and wife is not fertile, it has to do something with vitamin E, the lack of vitamin E. That's why they cannot produce a baby. Okay, so because it has to do with deals with fertility, biological fertility also. Okay, so it's in here. Okay, vitamin E. So this is also will connect the zinc here, zinc mineral, to drive the sexual passion. So kung bigaon kay kapirmi, taas din mong zinc. Meaning to say, taas mong kag vitamin E. You got the point. So kung bigaon kay ka, muna, dali mo makakuha ng bata. Hindi mo makapugong sa inyong uwang. Okay, kuha mo na siya, fertility. Diba? So naman na ang zinc. Kung mataas din mong zinc, you have the greater drive for sexual activities. Zinc. Mura kong itiman anjur. Okay, to the point? Like vitamin E related na siya. So, these are equally important. Walang tapon. Okay? But the only problem here, ang sikat pagkakaroon, ang vitamin D o ang vitamin C, palagi i-emphasized sa mga medical studies, like that. B din na kayo. A din na kayo siya because A and B are abundancy in the fruits and the plants, in the animals like this. But when we talk about the C and D, it would be more on the supplementary, like multivitamins, like the supplements, dietary food, like that. That is essentially outside source or essential sources. Okay, more of them are biosynthesized, not biosynthesized. Okay, but have also synthesized in our body, but not that much compared to the multivitamins, like this, to add more. Okay, as I told you, vitamin D, 4,000 international units, ganon. You get the point. Ascorbic acid also have the specific, I cannot tell you the exact for vitamin C. As long as you have enough vitamin C, it will be fine. It's not an issue. Okay? Like that. So here, ano siya? Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E. What is missing? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, G, K. Actually, we have vitamin K. A lot. Vitamin K1 and vitamin K2, I will be able to discuss it in the next session. We still have vitamin K. And this is not popular. Okay, because most of us until only E, we don't know about vitamin K. But there is vitamin K, but we don't have D, F, G, H, I, J. It will go directly to K. I don't know what's the explanation for that, huh? Okay, you get the point. So these are the vitamins, one parts of the nutrients. What are the types of nutrients? Again, carbohydrates, okay, lipids, okay, protein, vitamins, minerals, okay, nucleic acid, and amino acid. Okay, these are the types of nutrients. Okay, like that. So these are all nutrients, meaning the nutrients are general term for all biomolecules or macromolecules inside our body, which are the carbohydrates, okay, the lipids, okay, the protein, the amino acids, the nucleic acids, the vitamins, and the minerals. Without minerals, guys, sure, we will die. Okay, because our neurons need minerals. Neurons, activation of our motor skills and sensory skills. It needs sodium and potassium pump. We have also the pump inside our central nervous system, like this. So what will be pumped are the sodium and the potassium. So after pumping these two, the potassium will go out, the sodium will uh, go in, and then they will produce an action potential, which is electrical signal. Okay? This signal will be received by the neurotransmitters, as I told you, over and over again, chemical messenger hormones, which is basically made of protein. And then it will activate us. That's why we are alive. Okay? So that is the end point. The food we eat every day are just input, raw materials. Okay? But the output are really the chemical messenger hormones, neurotransmitters. Okay? And these are chemicals. So we need to say, we are what we eat. It will define who we are based on what we eat. So the meaning of that is very deep. Okay? So it is not literal. Okay? We are what we eat. Ganon. Okay, thank you so much for watching this vlog about vitamins. Actually, I'm focusing with vitamin, what I specify, vitamin B, but I go over to all vitamins to make it fair. So that walang tapon. Thank you so much. You can share this vlog to anybody else. You can like, you can comment, you can share. And you can subscribe also my YT channel if you did not yet subscribe. And then you can click the notification bell for some US updates of I am a singer channel voice. Bye bye, God bless everybody. See you later. Okay, bye bye. Mga palang akong hitat. Kakaloka. O diba? Kubalamin. Charot.